Hey group, a real quick video on our sales cycle. There are some dates that need to be engraved into your noggin about getting your ads ready to go for a monthly magazine. We have deadlines that are dictated by our printer, and these don't change from month to month. So this is just a little bit about the deadlines that we need to adhere to. We're a monthly magazine, which means the same dates apply to each month is specific sales and production activities. We call it deadline because if you miss the date, you are dead to the people printing your magazine. Journal Graphics up in Oregon prints this thing. We schedule with them each month to print on the 11th of every single month. You'll see this on the little sheet here I've got for you. But write these dates down, put them in your calendar, put them on your phone, put them on a post-it note on your mirror in your bathroom, whatever you need to do. First thing, the 25th of every month will be when you start running down your booked ads. I did a little video on running booked ads down you can refer to. You'll also want to begin securing your prospective ads now, which is the heavy duty follow-up on what you've been working on up to this point for the current issue that's coming up. So it is March, today's date is March the 29th. So on March 25th, for the May issue, I started running down my booked ads and securing my prospective ads. By April 1st, my goal is to have ad direction in my hand that I need to create ads, so I can get that to Michelle, our graphic artist, to start creating ads. By the 5th of the month of April for the June issue, May issue, I will have all my ads placed in Magazine Manager. And again, there's a video on Magazine Manager, how to do that. By the 8th of the month, I have ready to print ads submitted. So those accounts that don't want us to make them, but they're creating their own ads, I need to have those in my email box by the 8th of the month. And then I turn those over to Rhonda, our editor-in-chief, to place into the magazine, which she has space already carved out for because I have those ads reserved in Magazine Manager. If you sell ads after the 5th, you can still place them. You still put them in Magazine Manager, but that will require a separate email each time you put something in Magazine Manager to Rhonda, letting her know that you've done that so she can look for them. She usually prints out a report from Magazine Manager in the production area that gives her a page count, and she begins laying this thing out. So in order to do that, she needs to know which ads to put in and how much space they take in the magazine. And then she juggles the content and all of the other regular features of the magazine to make it all fit. Think of it as like a house of cards. So she needs to know. And then once she gets that laid out and there's something new that comes along, she needs to carve out space, add pages, move things around, but you need to let her know so she knows and she's aware that your ad is coming. It's not unusual to get an ad 2 days before we go to print. And if she can make it work, she will. If she can't, she'll let you know. The 10th of the month is usually when we get a proof from Rhonda of the magazine. So April 10th, we'll get a May proof showing all the ads, all of the content. It's just almost like the file that we turn into the printer to print the magazine. It'll be in page form. You'll create your proof sheet and compare your proof sheet to this proof that Rhonda gives you to make sure all of your ads are in place. And if they're not, to make the necessary changes. By the 11th, we go to print, usually at the end of the day. So there is time on the 11th to move if we need to. The whole idea here is for you to ingrain these dates into your mind and manage your ad flow against them so you can be safe and not miss any deadlines or cause the production team to have to stress about getting your ads in Magazine Manager, in the magazine, files on hand, ads built, all that stuff at the last minute. And it only seems like one ad sometimes. Well, it's just one ad. I know it's the 10th, but it's just one ad to make. And if that's all that our designers had to do, you're right, it would be easy. But by then they're going crazy, making all the changes and making all the arrangements to have this thing printed. So one ad at the end of the game versus a bunch of ads early in the game, that one ad at the end of the game is more work. So it's our job to meet and stick to these deadlines for any reason to make the burden easier on our production team. Going to print on the 11th at the end of the day, once we go to print, there's almost no opportunity to make any changes. Rhonda will often send an email out that will say, by the 10 o'clock in the morning on the 12th, if you have changes, we can make them, but then it costs us money to do that. For every change we make, there's a fee that the printer charges us. So we don't want to do that. If we need to, we can. When the magazine is proofed, also where it shows the 10th magazine proof available from the editor, that also goes to our copy editor, Carrie Reagan, who goes through this thing with a fine tooth comb. It's amazing what she finds. And she'll find mistakes on ads that have been submitted. And if that happens, Rhonda will send you a copy of that ad and ask you if you want to contact the submitting advertiser to make a change to their ad and resubmit it, lickety split. And usually if she's doing that, there's time to make that change and get the ad back. And then they're printing, they ship down to Reading, and we're usually in position to start distributing the magazine about the 25th. Remember this, most of them are placed in racks around our distribution area. Some are mailed, but most are delivered by some delivery guys that we hire to go to every single location and place those magazines where they belong. If you ever want to see a list of where they're at on our website, where to find us, there's a tab there you can see, or you can ask Rhonda to send you a printout of all of the locations we have. And then if you have distribution locations you want to add to the list, you email Rhonda and give her the owner's name, the address, the number of magazines that they want distributed, the hours that they're open, and where to leave them in the place of business. Like you can just make a note to the delivery guy, leave on the front desk, deliver to the front counter, deliver to the back room, that kind of a thing. So that's a possibility as well. So that's it. Those are the dates you need to ingrain into your head so we can all stay away from dying on deadline.